Mayor, I just forwarded if you.
Okay,
find
so I should
All
have.
right, we are live.
Okay, good evening, everybody. It is now 7 p.m. and I call to order the special meeting of the Norwalk Common Council for March 29th. If you'll all rise and join me in a salute to our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, if you'll please call the roll.
Sorry. Mr. Burnett,
Present.
Ms. Johnson,
Present.
Mr. Langella, Mr. Sacchinelli,
Present.
Ms. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Huvelman,
Present.
Mr. Roberts,
Present.
Ms. Ravulis, Ms. Young,
Here.
Mr. Kides, Mr. Theodorides, Mr. Keegan,
Here.
Mr. Sirenides,
Here.
Mr. Livingston,
Here.
Ms. Shanahan, I count 10 present.
Thank you. 10 present. We have a quorum.
I'm here. Ms. Ravalis.
Ms. Revolus is there.
Okay,
so
11.
11 present. We have a bigger quorum. There are no items the only item on the agenda for this evening is under the Common Council Committee, Health, Welfare, and Public Safety Committee, Mr. Sacchinelli.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And let the record show, it looks like John Kides has joined us at 7:02. I'd like to read it and move the item onto record. Authorize the Mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute a license agreement between the City of Norwalk and BTC Norwalk Region LLC to use and occupy on a temporary basis the building located on 64 North Main Street, Norwalk, Connecticut 06854 for the purpose of administrating COVID-19 vaccinations. And just to briefly explain to the group what this is, the health department was able to identify a facility that will help service the South Norwalk community, well, the community by large, but in a strategically located area in South Norwalk to help deliver vaccinations. And tonight we have Deanna to speak on this if there's any questions. Deanna, I'll pass it to you.
Thank you, Council President Sacchinelli. Good evening, everyone. And so, as you all know, we've been vaccinating since the end of December of the COVID-19 vaccine, and we've been following the state's phases with whoever was eligible to be able to vaccinate them. And we thought it was really important moving forward that we have a location in South Norwalk that would be accessible to members of our community. And we're so thrilled that the Bowtie Cinema wants to partner with the city and to be able to offer this location. It's really incredible that they want to work with us and be able to provide this. And so we're really excited about it. It's a site that we can vaccinate, several hundred. We think we can do 500 in, 6 hours, at a time. So we'll be able to do a high throughput. We'll be able to be in a great location. And again, really thankful to Bowtie Cinema for this partnership.
Thank you, Ms. Diamore. Are there any questions or any comments?
If I might, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Livingston.
Well, thank you. I'm just curious how this came about, how you ended up with this site versus any other.
Sure. So part of the mayor's task force, we were talking about different ideas for different locations. We've visited some of the city-owned sites in South Norwalk, and we felt like we wanted to be able to get a higher throughput and to offer a space where people could walk up, they could take transportation, or they can drive and park. And so this was a suggestion by some of the task force members to think about going to a cinema or movie theater, and how that was one of the ideas thrown out. one of our emergency response team volunteers and our volunteer coordinator connected us to Bowtie as a potential. And so we went out and visited, and it just sort of went from there. It kind of met all of these different criteria. It just seemed perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hooverman.
Yeah, just a question about the parking situation. Is LAZ on board with allowing parking there for this site?
So we're working with our Chief of Economic and Community Development and the Parking Authority on that to be able to offer, and the Parking Authority to be able to offer some spots without pay.
Mr. Burnett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a partnership with the cinema, which is a super great idea. But because it's a partnership, I'm just curious if there's any financial commitment on the part of the city and the cinema related to this partnership.
They're asking us to contribute the cleaning fees in order to clean the facility between use. And so that's the commitment that we're bringing, is be able to pay up to $400 a week would be the fee, depending. It could be less depending on how many times we use the facility, and we'd be seeking FEMA reimbursement for those costs.
Great. That was my follow-up question. If we can submit for reimbursement for those fees. Great. Thank you.
Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Sacchinelli has moved the item. All in favor, please signify.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Ms. Revolou abstains. Motion carries with 11 in favor and 1 abstention. Thank you all for making time for this special meeting for a very, very important matter. Any further discussion or comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Mayor.
Roberts motions to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Good evening. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you all.
Bye,
Have a good
Good night, everyone.
Night, thank you.
Good night, everybody.